Seriously, what the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Strong Arm Flix. What's good? What's good? What's up, Skywalker the Jedi?
Yo, what's going on? Sorry I was a little late, bro. I was wrapping up some things at work.
Hey, no problem, man. I pushed it back and I waited. I literally started like 60 seconds before you jumped on, bro. It actually worked out perfect, bro.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, this hashtag sell Zack Snyder's JL to Netflix, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is taking off, bro. And a lot has happened. I mean, just that I've seen since the last live stream that that me and you had did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really wanted to talk about it, address it and update people because I've seen multiple articles from major news outlets.
Oh yeah.
Reporting on this, and per usual, you're gonna get your your negative ones, but for the most part, surprisingly, it's been over. I've seen like maybe one negative one, but surprisingly, at least on my end, we talking about the Snyderverse,
Yeah.
Anything attached with Zack Snyder, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to news outlets, they just be dumping on that shit, And honestly, they've actually, overall, they really approve of, what this new movement is standing for, the message, the rules, the principles that the foundation that you've laid. And they've actually, from what I've seen and I've been reading, are actually very optimistic and got a stronger argument than what the hell I had made the last time we streamed. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, go ahead, Skywalker.
Hey, I tried to tell you, man. Like I had really thought this out, yo. I did a lot of thinking and I ran it through some filters and everything was coming back like, hey, this makes sense. And so that's why we went ahead and ran with it.
Yeah. And so to me though, it's what the thing that's surprising and not in a good way though, to me, is how many people were down with this Restore the Snyderverse shit are jumping off the bandwagon now, which is, it's okay, you know what I'm saying, after what everybody has been through, for years and years fighting an uphill battle with this studio, man. If people are finally turned off to the point where they just walk all the way away, I do not blame them one bit. But for those that not only do that, but then they have like a platform, right?
Yeah.
And they voice their opinion, and it's like y'all was riding this whole time, and it's very select few. And I won't name names, but but it's like I don't understand like why a lot of talking heads that got a platform that were down with this whole hashtag Restore the Snyderverse bit for so long. Why all of a sudden now they're being so fucking negative towards this, Yeah. And I really don't, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you get the big ones like fucking Campia, Film Junkie, certain other people. It's like, you already know if it ain't nothing in it for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna, haters gonna hate, but like I'm talking about, there's been people that like I know that I'm friends with that got platforms, right? And I'll leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like why are y'all spreading mixed messaging? Like, I've seen two things that really I feel like I want to address specifically. Confusions, people can mixing in the old bullshit with the new hashtags, for one. That's a big problem. And I know you've addressed this. I know you have, but I'm still seeing it. And I got to call it how I see it. I got to call it how I see it. That shit needs to stop because it's still going on. And like I said, the other thing is, too, is like I said, I've seen people just flat out just coming right out like on their platforms like, this is fucking stupid. Talking about this new, and I'm like, yo, hold on. You know, it's okay. You know, if you've been burned too much and you're done with this whole shit and you don't want to you want to wait 10 more years to see if maybe or maybe not gun will give us something worthwhile. But these are the same people and the same cats, you know what I'm saying, that donated to AFSP, you know what I'm saying, got the backing of Zack Snyder multiple occasions for this new movement too. And I might add also kudos to you, Skywalker. 2 different times, Zach, now for different reasons, you know what I'm saying, has basically, in my opinion, flat out approved of the messaging, the foundation of what has been laid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! And hold on 1 second, T Flame. It's 3. He's like 3 different things. Yes, 3.
Damn.
So,
okay.
It's not even 2 anymore. It's 3.
It's 3. 3.
It's 3.
Wow.
He liked the first post where it was the video breaking down what the messaging was. He liked that one. He liked the Forbes post that was saying that why that is the best option. And then he liked a picture and a breakdown of the possible slate that could be had at Netflix. So 3 for 3. Yes, it is 3. It is no longer 2.
Yeah, see, I missed that. Oh wow. So you see, and one of them I used as the thumbnail for this. I don't know if that's the one or not, but wow. So he liked that possible. Man, that's dope, man. See, I missed that. That went right over. See, that went over even my head. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So, you know, and like I said, you know, since we last talked, you know, a lot of different news outlets, for better or worse, most of them being more positive though than negative, have addressed this, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When this shit first kicked off, I'm like, man, this could be dope. I'm riding, you know, either way, because it's like, you know, if this is the, you know, the last shot, this is the Hail Mary. You already know I've been on the ride. I've been riding this long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling it quits now. You know, I'm in it for the long haul. But I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really expected like it just to be brutal. You know, I'm happy that it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that it wasn't. I just expected it to be brutal from these news outlets. You know what I'm saying? And hearing them come out, multiple different ones, and breaking down the reasons why this makes sense, breaking down some of the licensing things that have been done before, why it would benefit Warner Brothers, how it would benefit Netflix. I'm like, I'm just reading this. I've been busy working though. And I was just like, wow, man, you know, we got to do an update to this, you know, because this is getting a lot more traction than I thought. And honestly, I feel like even if it weren't Netflix that picked this up, this thing has the potential with this trending date that's coming up. If people get their heads out their asses, nobody gets on board, this thing could be like, I put it like this. This has got my attention because the way this thing is grabbing the media's attention, Skywalker, this thing is grabbing the media's attention the way the release the Snyder Cut movement did. You know what I'm saying? And what ended up happening at the end of that move, you know what I'm saying, at the end of that run, we got the Snyder Cut. You know, and I ain't seen that kind of traction or positivity from the media or even the haters. Like, since then, no matter how, go ahead.
On top of that, right, when Release the Snyder Cut kind of first became a thing, they were much more dismissive in the beginning.
Oh
right?
yeah.
They were much more
Oh yeah.
dismissive.
Much
This
more.
right? I look, this within the first couple days, opinions had already started to swing towards this being the best possible option, right? The first article that came out was a little snarky, right? But even then, they acknowledged that this
They had
movement
to,
was much more positive,
yeah, they
right?
had to keep to, yeah, they wanted to hate, but even you know, the foundation that you laid, it's like there's no room for hate. So even the haters, if they gonna address it, they gotta keep it a buck. Like by the time they wrap it up, you know.
Yeah,
So it's like at the end, yeah, I seen that. You know what I mean? Even at the end, they was like, you know, they had good shit to say about it without even wanting to. And the other ones that I seen after that were hella positive, bro, and breaking out shit like that. We had some things that we had talked about on here on the channel,
mhm.
and some things that I hadn't even thought about that we also hadn't talked about, like other possibilities and the way that this could work out and how it could be beneficial for both sides. And either way, you know what I'm saying? Even if,
Yeah.
like I said, even if this don't pan out in the end, what is it going to hurt to ride for this instead of constantly hashtagging fire so-and-so, boycott so-and-so, restore some shit that WBD has clearly made it clear that they are not fucking listening to anymore. These are not the same
Absolutely.
people, and they have made it very clear that James Gunn has, hey, you restore this motherfucker, it's coming to us. And what I'm telling y'all is, when y'all did the air cut campaign, we hear you, but what we're doing is, but what we're doing is, we're making the slate for the next 10 to 8 to 5 to 4, I mean the 3 next years, and that shit ain't on the books, so please stop. That was a nice please stop without being said by James Gunn, because that was his way of saying, Zaslav ain't listening to you fucks. We are. And we're tired of seeing this shit because this ain't what we're doing. He just didn't come out and say it bluntly. So it's fucking pointless to keep doing, at this point in time, restore the stock. Who are we restoring it to? They ain't restoring shit. Not this current regime at Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
And on, you know, and on top of that, the air cut, that's part of the Snyderverse. So part of this, you know, that's all part of the slate that we're asking for at Netflix, because they, you know what I'm saying? This is a licensing thing that we're talking about. And it's impossible as people that were riding for hashtag restore this, that I'm very surprised at. People with large platforms, some with mediocre platforms, but that's not the point. The point that they're so strongly opinionated and stupid. I'm like, have you lost your damn mind? Like, what does it hurt anybody? If it don't happen, it don't happen. What's it matter? You already ain't yeah.
Look, I will let you in on a little secret, T Flame. All right.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing us out, it's just me and you in here talking, right? I always come to these things like it ain't no audience, right? It's just me and you, right?
yeah.
Like, I warned people that was kind of like close to me, because I knew that this was going to happen, right? As I kind of gained more prominence in the Snyderverse community, or however you would want to slice it down, as I, you know, kind of did more and grew my platform rather, right? The things that I started noticing really led me to believe that a lot of these people are not really Zack Snyder fans, right?
Absolutely.
And I hate to be that person that's trying to police if somebody else is a fan or not, but I just really don't have any other way to say it, right? And
that's
so
what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. And so I look at this situation right now, right, where it's funny because some of these people were willing to keep writing after they announced that Henry Cavill was gone. But yet when this hashtag came, then it was like, oh, well, now I'm done. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Like, hold on, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We had no hope. And then you were saying that you was still willing to ride. And then now we have hope and you're done. Right? It's like, it don't make no fucking sense. No sense. It really makes no sense. And I think that, with this movement being something separate, I mean, because I'm going to stream a little later tonight. And that's actually the topic. The main topic is that this movement is not those other movements, yo.
No, it's not. And I wish that it could be separated further in the media, because here's my thing. You know what I'm saying? I was actually on somebody's channel just commenting, looking through the comments, right? I think it was Our Movie News, right? And surprisingly, he kind of sometimes, he's excited for everything and shit. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But surprisingly, like, he is very much, and he's got a decent following, he is very much behind this in a very positive way and breaking
I've seen
down
it on Twitter. Yeah.
And I was in his comment section, right? And I watched the video today, one of his newer ones today. Maybe it was a day old, but I had just seen it. And I was reading one of the comments, and one of the comments said something about I don't remember. It don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It was a negative comment about, and I basically was like, because I knew the person. I'm like, listen, y'all was behind this, y'all was behind this, y'all was behind this, but you're gonna not be behind this now that there is actual, positive media covering this. We've never had this before. And on top of that,
tell him, T-Flame.
Yeah. And it's like, well, and even if it fails, and even if your fears are correct, which most of it is just misinformation, because most of us don't know the ins and outs of the industry. Even the people that claim that they do, they hate. There's a lot of things that people try to gauge how much money Netflix is willing to spend. And literally, Our Movie News broke down. He said, for Knives Out sequel, they spent $500 million on some shit that nobody was really dying for. Like, nobody was beating down their front door for that. I mean, it had its following, but I mean, it's like people trying to gauge what the quality. Like, everybody is finding every reason why this can't work, and I'm like, why though? But for why though?
Hey, look, here is my thing. If this was impossible, Forbes would have said it by now.
Exactly.
Flat out.
Flat out.
You have people that are claiming to know business, but yet the business outlet said that this thing can absolutely happen.
Right.
Like, it's feasible. It's feasible. Right now, whether or not it will happen is a totally different question. But to act as if it's like an impossibility or it cannot happen. People are literally, like you said, T-Flame, they are looking for reasons that this cannot work.
Exactly.
And I'm not really understanding why during Release the Snyder Cut and Restored the Snyderverse and all these other hashtags, right? No, all these other hashtags, we were able to kind of get on board and everybody knew what they meant, right? And we were able to execute, at least in our actions. We didn't necessarily execute when it came to all of the goals, right? That was just Release the Snyder Cut. But at the same time, people were able to execute on their actions and their behavior, right? But now that we're getting positive coverage and we're being covered in a positive light, and look, I cannot stress this enough. The fact that any Zack Snyder fan base is getting positive coverage in the media is
liking it too.
No. I mean getting positive coverage in the media.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Zack Snyder's fan base
that's
has been
crazy.
known as toxic, right?
Toxic.
And like, toxic bots, all these negative things and
Right.
all these things that have
Every
these
negative
negative
thing.
connotations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And now we are actually being viewed in a positive way. And you have people that are saying that now they can't seem to find the energy or the will to get on board. And, with this new positive thing that has traction, it seemed like it actually may
Hey,
work.
hey,
And
you know that
is the last, lastly, T Flame, this is the last shot.
exactly.
Yo, like
This is the Hail Mary.
there is no waiting for another possible reboot in 4 to 5 years.
This is
Like,
this is it.
it's not
This
gonna
is
happen.
it. This
This
is
is
it
it.
right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what this is what I really don't understand is, like I said, is that the people that they've been riding all this time, the ones that ain't completely just, walked away, went silent, went ghost, and moved on, the ones that are still out and about to a degree, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're really not gonna support this? This fan base has been known as bots and toxic and this or that, or what I mean. Even when we won the at what was it, at the Grammys, one for the Flash, one for the Flash scene, the Flash and the Speed Force. What was that? Not
The
the Grammy,
Oscars,
the Oscars. Yeah,
yeah,
even when
the
that was
Oscar fan
nominated,
favorite moment.
the first thing that happened was they came out and attacked that, like, oh, they cheated and that was bots and that wasn't real.
Yep.
They don't have that many fans. And literally the Oscars had to come out and even say, like, nah, like we triple checked these accounts that we counted as votes. And no, this is legitimate and it stands. Like,
Facts.
Facts, you know what I mean? But I just can't believe that so many people, like Campia, man, this thing is getting big and it's positive. But here's my thing. How is the negative side to this? The mother freakers that been rolling with us since day one, damn near, like some of them. Like now y'all are the obstacles that got to be overcame. Like, at least if you ain't down with it, shut the freak up. You know what I'm saying? Don't make videos when you got a following, you know what I'm saying, trying to tell people how stupid some shit is. Like really, you want to know stupid was all the shit that you was riding with us for the last 4 years that the media and all the haters were saying was stupid. That's what was supposedly stupid. Now we get some shit that is solid, positive, with groundwork done, with certain rules laid out, with media coverage that is 90% all the way around, surprisingly positive. And now you want to voice all this bullshit. I really don't like that, to be honest with you.
Oh no.
It
I
don't
get
make
it.
sense.
Yo, but here's the thing, right? Because this needs to be stated, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of double and triple down on what I'm about to say later tonight on my stream, right? So be sure to tune in when I go live in a little over 1 hour.
Right.
But the thing is, though, T Flame, is that if they're not gonna be able to be positive and like move on from WBD and move on from James Gunn and just move on from that discussion in general, then they can stay on the other side.
Right.
Like, they can stay, because unless they're going to engage in this thing on our terms, then I hope that they stay over there and watch us get this done, and then everybody sit back and like really see who the obstacles were in this whole equation, right? Because that's the thing, T Flame. This type of stuff is not new, right? Like, we could have gotten the Snyder cut out much faster, right? But it was this same stuff now. It was egos and clout, right? And all these things that got in the way of that, and gatekeeping and all these same things that we're talking about right now. And that's why I do feel uniquely qualified to kind of be one of the people that is at the forefront of this thing, because I know exactly what happened. And history doesn't do anything but repeat itself.
True.
This is the same things that people were dealing with back in the day, and why it took the Snyder Cut so long to come out. And so I am here and I am ready for it. I am ready to attack this thing from all angles to show that, yo, we are not the same movement. This is an evolution.
Exactly.
The Homo sapiens are not the same as Neanderthals. And and like, that's not a shot at anybody or any other fandom. That's just a fact of life. That ain't a shot to any other movement. What Release the Snyder Cut did was monumental. And I feel just as much pride as I ever have for being a part of that, right? But at the same time, with Restore the Snyderverse, there needed to be an evolution in our messaging, and that didn't happen. T-Flame. It was the same stuff, and it was the same tactics, and we let our fandom get out of control, yo. We could have really flipped because look, we had people on our sides after the Snyder Cut came out.
Oh yeah, we did.
Right? And we lost that. Right? We lost that because our messaging and our tactics didn't evolve. We stayed doing the same thing, and we expected to get the same result. And that just isn't how this thing had to go down. We needed to have an evolution in our thinking, and it didn't happen until now.
Right. We sat there and watched even that dirt ass studio, WB, evolve for better or worse, and we didn't. So, thinking that the same messaging is going to work now that we are two different regimes removed, thinking that the same messaging is going to work from two different regimes ago, twice removed, is going to work, and staying the same.
See, look, and this is the thing. This is why I get so frustrated, T-Flame, and I don't mind leaving these people behind, right? Because part of my rules of engagement. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but they're perfect, and they are what they are for a reason, right? Part of the reason why, huh?
I said no. They are very good, and they're thought out, and it's not that, and this is some shit, and I'm happy it was you that really ironed these out. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, this is some shit that should have been done a long time ago as well.
Absolutely.
But regardless, it's being done now, and that's what matters.
Right? No. And look, see, because people didn't even realize how deep this goes, right? And that's what's been so frustrating in trying to, have these conversations with certain people that just seem dead set on doing these old things, right? Like these boycott hashtags, the fire hashtags, and it just makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. You're literally yelling into the ether, right? Now, one of the other reasons why I didn't want people tagging WBD and or James Gunn, right, or any of these things, is also it wasn't just about trying to remove them so we could be positive. This is also about, right, because this movement was going to be positive, for them to also be proven wrong. Because if we take all of this engagement and we have this massive positive movement that goes over to Netflix, and then we actually are able to secure this thing and solidify ourselves as being positive, then we would have officially proved them wrong. And it'll be done. It'll be over. It will show, hey, that Zack Snyder fans were not toxic, right? As a whole, right? There were circumstances that led to people being upset, right? So part of the reason why they were convinced to reboot was because they thought that we were a largely toxic fan base. So
Yeah.
if you also want to prove James Gunn wrong, then take your engagement elsewhere and be positive.
Exactly. You know, and plus, what's the point in wasting engagement on a studio that don't care, on a studio that's made it clear that they're doing something else? You know, but I do understand that, you know, all of the negative feelings that come along with James Gunn coming to power, the announcements that he's made, the people he's fired. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, do you actually want to try to do one last hoorah and do something right and do something about it? Or do you want to just sit there and scream in an echo chamber off to the left, you know, and make everybody look like they ain't shit? You know, I mean, you got at some point we got to stop. Hashtag this, hashtag cancel this, hashtag this, and you know, mixing it in with restore the Snyderverse. Like I'm seeing so many of these shits mixed in together, and you know, it's like I want, even myself, like I want to separate from all of that. And like I said, you know, it's weird, you know that this is a new movement, a new foundation that's been built, and because of the simple fact that we are seeing the exact opposite of what we've seen before. We're seeing positive media coverage, and we are seeing negative, negative YouTube bullshit. We're seeing negative from the fan base that has platforms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
T-Flame, I am not surprised. T-Flame, you've had see one thing, right? You got some people that say that they know business, right? What I know is reading the tea leaves, right? If you read several of those articles, they explain in plain English why this movement is being treated differently.
Yeah.
100%. They say, yo, this one is more positive. They're not asking for for anybody to be fired. They're not asking to boycott, right? They're not going against anything else. We're just showing that we have an audience here that is willing, that should be invested in.
Yeah.
That's it. That is
exactly. It. Because
Right.
because even Hollywood knows. But see, Hollywood is without a soul. You feel me? But even they know, like, you know, when all this news broke, you know, with the Snyder Cut came out, and they were like, wow, actually, you know what? Dude knew what he was doing and had something special. Wow, it sucks. We ain't never gonna see that come to fruition. And then seeing them watching it real time, you know, seeing how shit went down with the fans, seeing Henry say, I'm back, and then I'm fired, you know, that made them more empathetic. And even the media was outraged to a degree with us fans. But see, this is where we lost them, was after that, the way that it was fucking handled, you know, with the cancel this and the fire this and the, you know, and I get it, because, you know, it was very upsetting. And I'm upset about it even still now. But the thing is, though, is that with this is something they can get behind and say, you know, while keeping their jobs and not worried about, you know, even the people that might be close on the inside to Warner Brothers that might have sources that have a source that they might not should be talking about, you know, even they feel comfortable saying, you know what, I can get behind this. And that's something. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, T-Flame, that is exactly why we came up with this move. That is exactly where this thought process came from. And I 100% agree. And they've been saying it. So it isn't even like, look, we haven't talked since I was on your platform last time, right? T-Flame. Haven't they pretty much been explaining what I was saying?
Yeah.
Like they pretty much just been
Yeah,
explaining exactly why I did this and exactly why it's different. So they get it, right? I knew that this was something that with it being much more positive, and we're just asking like, hey, can we get this thing somewhere else? Right? Like,
exactly.
we acknowledge that WBD does not want to move forward with Zach's vision, and
Exactly.
I can respect that. James Gunn is a new DC Studios head, and he is going to get his opportunity to do his universe. Right? That's why they hired this guy. Right?
Exactly. Good
So,
for, and I'm happy for him. And I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for the people that are looking forward for whatever the fuck he's going to bring to the table. In that regard, I'm happy. But me personally, and as a fan, I am not a fan of the content that I know that he's going to create and of the content that he's created before. On top of that, I'm still one of the people, as well as many of us, who were there for 10 years for this buffoonery, for this studio, that they will not give a conclusion. Even I would have turned up to see what kind of bullshit Superman reboot that Gunn was going to do in theaters had they had just concluded this shit, because it's going to be what, 2-3 years, 2 years before whatever reboot Superman he does comes out in theaters. They could have did even one last movie, one hurrah, even if it wasn't what Zach planned. They could have did something, something, anything. And the fact that they were willing, not only not willing to do that, but they were willing to let Henry come back, make that video, then a month later have him come back and say, nope, Gunn just told me I'm fired. You know what I'm saying? That was like the biggest bitch slap in the face to me as a fan. And like I said, but I don't want to be negative with that studio no more, because that gets you nowhere, because they know exactly how people feel, and they're going to do what they're going to do. And at the end of the day, Gunn's going to get the opportunity that Zach initially was promised in 2013. Now, the people that want to ride and see if they're going to actually not sell out before Gunn gets his opportunity to finish, or whether they're going to actually stay off Gunn's ass when he gets a mixed reception because he's dabbling with DC characters. This ain't Marvel. This is a whole new ball field. So, that's a whole another story. And like I said, that's a story that these other fans that are down for that ride, that's a story that they're going to have to walk alone. I'm off to the side trying to do, my own thing, and so is many of the other fans. And what we want to see, let them have that. That's fine. There's no reason though, when Warner Brothers is 50, and by the way, Pedro, asking how much is WB in the hole, 50 billion with a B. That's how much they're in debt. And with David Zaslav being in charge, right, and being a businessman, right now, there's no better time than if we could get this movement even bigger than it is with this positive media coverage. There is no reason why Zaslav and Netflix couldn't have a sit down and eventually hash out these details of how to license the Snyderverse over to Netflix. This is a real absolute possibility. This could really happen. This is going to take. Go ahead.
I would not have started this thing if I didn't think that it could work, yo. I would not be tweeting as much as I have been. I wouldn't be going on all these streams trying to make sure that this messaging is correct, right? I would not be doing any of that if I did not think that this thing could work, right? But touching on the James Gunn thing, right? Look, I get it. They were in a position where they had to rip the Band-Aid off, right? They're like, look, we're going to do this reboot, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get it over with now, right? Okay, fine. So I feel the same way about us ripping the Band-Aid off with this whole movement stuff, yo, right? Right now, what is popping and what is trending and what is getting us positive media coverage right, is hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix and hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. So
exactly.
right now, we represent, like, this is about as bare bones as I can get with this. We represent the best chance for Zack Snyder to finish his arc. Right?
Flat out.
Now, if people want to let ego and clout and all that stuff get in the way of them supporting, then feel free to do so. Because if you cannot engage under the rules of engagement, right, then I would rather you keep your huge platform away from mine, right? Because I don't want you having your viewers thinking that it is okay to engage with this new movement if you're not doing it with the utmost respect, right? So yes, with that being said, we represent Zach's best chance at coming back, and this is not something that I think, T-Flame, this is something that I know. This is the last chance.
And Zach acknowledged this shit 3 times now.
Right?
3.
Very quickly. And now, all of a sudden, T-Flame, I'm being told that Zach's likes don't mean anything. And that Zach likes everything. Like I said, go put a post on Vero that says hashtag Zack Snyder is a hack and see if he likes it. Okay? Right? Since he just likes everything. Look, this is the last shot that we have. So you can either get on board and really engage with this thing properly and be positive and leave all that WBD or James Gunn stuff in the past when it pertains to Zack Snyder specifically, right?
Right.
Or stay in the past and get left behind. But we're gonna get this thing done whether you guys help us or not. So that's the way that I'm looking at it, T-Flame. And I just want to make sure that is absolutely clear, that they can sit on the sidelines and watch and be negative all they want to, but we're going to keep pushing this line and trying our best to make sure that Zach gets to complete his arc.
And that's exactly, I'm absolutely down for that. And you already know, my brother. But you know what, Skywalker, just for playing devil's advocate, we've got somebody in the chat, Sandy Region, I believe. Sorry if I said that wrong, but responding to what you just said.
Absolutely.
He said, I support hashtag South Snyderverse to Netflix, but there must be other options. And then he responded immediately after that and said, I disagree that this is our last shot. So to that, what do you got to say, Skywalker? Go ahead.
Okay. See, what I appreciate is when people say things like that they present a better option, right? And you can disagree about it, being our last shot. That is your right as a human being, right? But I'm not speaking on something that I am thinking about. I know this.
Right.
All right. No, like, if Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot being out as the Trinity isn't a wake-up call to everybody involved, and if that wasn't a wake-up call, right, then I don't know what will be. Henry Cavill just told everybody he's not even Superman no more. We going under the guise that Zach would even be able to convince him to come back.
Right.
Right? You see, everything's like, Henry Cavill is out as Superman. Ben Affleck is out as Batman. You just heard that Wonder Woman 3 got canceled, right? They have no plans on. They have no plans on doing a Wonder Woman movie.
And we know what that really means. You know, Gal Gadot, you know what I'm saying? She is a female, and they've got negative press before for abusive conduct at WB. So they're not going to come right out and say it, but we know what that's code for. That's code for Gal Gadot is the fuck out is Wonder Woman. Okay? That's what that means. It's not just that she ain't getting a third movie. Gal Gadot's out as Wonder Woman, you know? Go ahead.
And Ben Affleck is out as Batman.
Yes.
Right? Yo, you like so if that is not a wake-up call, like we don't I'm not sure about you guys, right? But in my reality, you just don't get chance after chance after chance after chance at some shit.
No.
Right? Like, that's not the way life works. Right? Like, I could have went to the NBA. I had one chance. Right? And then that was it. Right? I could have went to the NFL. I had one chance. And that was it. Right? So, like, you don't get chance after chance with these things. Literally, these outlets are even acknowledging that this is our last shot.
And even they, you know, even the ones that weren't on board in the beginning that gave BVS negative reviews for it being chopped up, even they came around with the Snyder Cut, was like, you know what, wow, I like that. I'd really actually like to see what he had in mind with this universe and how he'd like to close that out, you know. But the problem, you know, and they're there, and them are the ones that are fucking writing these Forbes articles and all this other shit. But we had them on deck when the Snyder Cut was released. Like you said, you hit the nail right on the head, Skywalker. But at some point, we lost them along the way with all these random fucking rogue
ransom notes.
Yeah.
Look, man, see, and that is also the thing, right? Is that people are, you've had people that have been saying, oh, like, like this guy that said that, there are better options, or like those are other options. Netflix presents the best option. Yeah,
this one right here, that's the one I was just about to ask you about, if you wanted to respond to this or not. But Sandy Region also said Netflix is a good option, but there are other studios / media outlets.
Okay, watch this, right? All right, so right off the bat, people were already trying to say that this thing wasn't going to work because it would be competition, right? So, this is a streaming service. We're not even talking about
a theatrical release,
right? Right, you could just ixnay all that shit right off the top, right? All the other major studios, right? First of all, nobody offered Zach anything when he left Warner Brothers to begin with, outside of Netflix, right? So no other major studio offered him anything. That is a fact, right? Now, so there is no damn Universal, no Paramount, none of that stuff, right? Now, some of them have streaming services, right? That they may be able to put it on, right? But they are nowhere near as large as Netflix, right? Netflix has already had Zack Snyder's Justice League on their platform. Netflix is already the home of Zack Snyder. Netflix has already worked with Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, The Rock, Henry Cavill, like most of the Justice League.
Yeah. And fucking Dwayne Johnson on different shit.
Right. Yeah. And The Rock. Right. So, they literally worked with most of the Justice League. They are the biggest streaming platform. This thing was a global phenomenon to start with, right? And so
for streaming.
Yes. Absolutely. And so why not go at the biggest subscription service? That makes the most sense. Like now, and hey, if this thing drums up interest, you don't think Amazon is watching this right now, right? Like, right.
Right, and look at, what I'm saying?
Messaging.
Exactly. And say, for example, guys, right? say we do everything the way it needs to be done. We keep growing this beautiful movement the way that Skywalker is doing, and stick to the rules of engagement and do this thing the way it needs to be done. Even at the end of the day, right? If Netflix doesn't bite, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Amazon will. But regardless, this is the one last Hail Mary. There isn't no what's next after this. This is it.
Absolutely.
So I don't see what it hurts to get behind this.
And Amazon they already have exclusive superhero content with The Boys, Invincible. Netflix doesn't have that.
Yep,
they just got that with Sandman, right? They don't have like an exclusive like superhero thing, right?
And Skywalker,
so,
correct me if I'm wrong. And with Sandman, what property is that? Is that DC?
DC. Yep.
Absolutely.
And it's getting and they're getting a new season as well. So
my question is, why is this thing so ludicrous to some people? As what I don't understand. Like the people that have been down for more ludicrous training events that we've done in the past that absolutely got no traction. Yo,
people will sit there and hashtag, right? Fire James Gunn, boycott WB, and bring back Zack Snyder. Now that makes no sense whatsoever. You are hashtagging boycott, but then saying that you want them to bring back Zack Snyder.
Yeah. I mean,
makes no sense. Makes no sense. But yet people do that ad nauseum, right? This is why, T-Flame, that this is important for us to show that there is a clear and very stark difference between this movement and these other ones. This is why this needs to be made clear for people. So it's cool if you are going to choose not to really throw your all in. It's cool, but at that same time, I feel like we are looking for reasons that this can't work, and we are also looking for things that are missing, or looking for things that should change about it, while not realizing that this thing is getting this thing just hit 2 weeks. It just hit 2 weeks old, and we're already getting covered by Forbes and PBR and so hey, like, I truly mean this wholeheartely. For everybody that is a real fan of Zack Snyder and wants to see his arc finished, I implore you guys to join this movement, start these hashtags, engage with the rules of engagement, right? I really, really wholeheartedly want all you guys to put your support into it. But if you can't support under the rules of engagement, or if you feel like you really have a whole bunch of feelings for James Gunn and for WBD that you just really can't let go of right now, then I understand if you want to sit this one out.
Right. I'm just looking through here, and there is so many articles written. Like, of course there's, your couple of negatives, but they're mostly positive, and that blows my mind. It blows my mind. Just looking at this is all coverage from this new shit that's been started. And all you got to do is go right to the top of Google and type this in, and you scroll, and every single one has to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm still going. It's still going. It's still going. The ZSJL to Netflix hub account on Twitter actually has like a pinned thread there Yeah.
with all the outlets that have been giving us coverage. And it's crazy.
Wow. And
right?
You know what? And
vast majority of them are positive.
Yeah, and that is nuts, man. I'm gonna have to check that out. I think I've navigated there before, clicking on links and stuff on accident, but I think I needed to sub to it. I think I just need to subscribe to it. But
yes, and there is a YouTube channel as well that is that I think is gonna probably start getting more active soon. Both of them are GSJL. GSJL to Netflix. One word.
You want me to show the audience so they can show them what to look out for, or do you want them to sub to any of this, or?
Yes. Go over there and sub to the YouTube channel right now, right? And make sure that you are following the Hub account on Twitter, because a lot of the pertinent information will be coming from those two accounts. You know, there's some hype videos coming and stuff. There's the
account.
Here's
the account.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that hold on, let me go back to this. I like the fact that that they used the one of the Superman clips from the release of the Snyder Cut when it was still being promoted before it came out. I really like that, because that just brings back the epicness, man. You remember when them little snippets that Zach were dropping before that shit came out, when we knew he was polishing them VFX? Man, the hype was unreal.
When I first heard him say, "Fly, son, it's time," oh my God.
I know. I was like, "Ooh, man." I see that right there. The Rock spinning around him in the black suit. Seeing some shit you never seen before.
Right? You're right. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Man, look at that. I don't know how people wouldn't want to see a continuation of this shit. I really don't get it. You know, I just don't get it. But before I get distracted, this is the channel, guys. It's only got, looks like 29 subs so far. It's a brand new channel, but this is the Hub account that you need to be when you're on YouTube. That's for this specifically. That Skywalker's and whoever else, or I don't know who else on the squad that you got working with you, Skywalker.
I've just been getting DMs and some messages from the Twitter account. Like I have no idea who is behind that thing, or I have a clue, but
right. Yeah. I mean, long as they're following the rules of engagement and they're doing this for the right reason, man, that's all that really matters. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Absolutely.
But I mean, is this is this the one that you wanted to show people to subscribe to? You said there's one on Twitter. Let's go to the one on Twitter.
Yes, and then the Twitter account, that's the one that has the tweet. The tweet thread with all of the media articles that have been on there.
Is it right here, right?
ZSJL to Netflix.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Yep, that's it right here. Yep. So this account right here, guys, over here, if you're on Twitter,
go ahead and like scroll down that thread for him, T-Flame. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them see, right? And that's why I also wanted to kind of touch on that, is that I've been seeing people trying to say like what needs to be changed about our movement, or what we are lacking, but they're not understanding that just how powerful we actually are. And if everybody just kind of gets on board instead of arguing over what we should be doing, because this clearly seems to be working. If it wasn't working, then I would understand people's concerns. But we definitely seem to be showing results, and so I want each and every Zack Snyder fan out there that doesn't feel toxic and that doesn't feel like they are any of these labels that they've tried to place on our fandom for all these years. If you are feeling like that really wasn't you, then we have a home for you over at #SalesVSJL to Netflix. And I think that this is going to work. Like, I would not be doing this T-Flame if I didn't think that this could absolutely happen.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, you guys click follow this hub account. Yeah, and participate in the events and everything, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously most of you have already subscribed to Skywalker. If you're not, please do so. But yeah, you know, and I just want to address this comment because I have seen this before, and I've never had nobody say it to me specifically, but I've seen this said to other people. And what do you say to this? The Jumper says this. He says, I literally seen a video saying they don't want to support this movement because you didn't support Project Justice League.
Okay, hey, cool.
I think what he's saying is that you guys, I think what he's saying is that they're criticizing people in a video, multiple talking heads, are criticizing people, you know, that are supporting this, and basically throwing up the fact that, well, where were you when you why didn't you support Project Justice League? And to my knowledge, everybody in my small circle, I can't speak for everyone, I'm pretty sure everybody fucking did. But I have seen this.
I don't know what
this is what's crazy is the people that.
Hey, look, because I would like to answer that, right? Hey, if anybody feels as if I didn't do enough for Project Justice League, right, which was a project that in no way, shape, form, or fashion directly was helping Zack Snyder return to finish his vision at all. And matter of factly, I've actually heard that some of the things that took place in Project Justice League weren't actually Zack's plans, right? So if we're gonna do this back and forth, then fine, right? But at that same time, look at that. It's because we didn't support them enough to their liking, right? But this has nothing to do with Zack Snyder. That statement had nothing to do with Zack Snyder. Project Justice League did not help Zack Snyder in any way, shape, form, or fashion directly return to Warner Brothers or anywhere and get his finished product out there. It did not help that cause whatsoever. So,
right.
While
I mean, and it was
some stuff. Like, I donated some money. It's like, hey, I don't know what more that we were supposed to.
Right, and it wasn't the people behind Project Justice League saying this. It's just fucking other talking YouTuber heads and haters that basically say this as a throwaway line to people online or in the comment threads on YouTube, because I've seen it too. I haven't necessarily seen anybody behind Project, and I thought Project Justice League was dope, but again, it helped AFSP, and that's awesome. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to specifically Zack Snyder returning, fulfilling his true vision, actually it being materialized in the flesh, that had nothing to do with that.
Absolutely. And so, hey, but my statement still goes as said, right? For anybody that feels that way, right? Or that I
I thought
personally
Project Justice League was dope. All of us did. But you know,
hey,
let's not use that as a weapon and convicts apples with onions.
hey,
Apples with oranges,
I am about Zack Snyder returning to finish his arc. That is my true north, right? That is always is what I feel like has guided me in this fandom, and it always will, right? Until it's not, or look, until I feel like it's no longer a possibility, I'm gonna try to get this thing done. So anybody that is feeling like they have any kind of personal gripes against me or anybody that I support, anybody that I rock with, and if that is going to keep you from engaging in this conversation and pushing this thing forward the right way, then that is fine. Just watch us make history.
Exactly. You know, and I just want to say shout out to Snyder Queen, and she's in the chat, and she raises a good question. She says, "What property is Sweet Tooth? Who owns Lucifer?" Question mark.
Yo, shouts out to Sammy. Much love, Snyder Queen. You know what I'm saying? Yo, much love, much love. She been putting in mad work, right?
Yeah,
much respect. Much respect.
I've seen it.
And she's absolutely right. Both of those are owned by DC, right? Lucifer, it was the same thing. That show was on Fox. It was canceled. They brought it over to Netflix for 3 more seasons.
Yeah, Netflix saved it.
Per
DC property, per licensing, a DC property, which the DC IP is owned by Warner Brothers. So DC property that's owned by Warner Brothers was on one platform, got canceled, and because of the fans' cries, Netflix stepped up to the bat and saved it and brought it to Netflix.
3 more seasons.
And it brought 3 more seasons and ended it out in a way that the fans were satisfied with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point.
Same thing.
That's the point.
That is literally the same thing.
That is literally a perfect example.
Exactly. And so anybody saying that this is not possible or it's impossible, right? No, it's very possible, right? It's just about whether or not we are going to show enough of a demand to make the investment worthwhile for Netflix. That's literally all that this is about, T-Flame.
Exactly. And leaving the negative baggage behind, because, you know, the main thing that the media has always been good and haters have been good at doing is twisting any little thing that this fan base does in a negative.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're outright being negative, hashtag fire this and that, that's going to be something that Netflix is going to consider. Like, do we really want to bring this shit into our, shit? You know what I mean? Like, do we want to be associated? Look at the light that's been painted on us. But right now, this is a unique opportunity, like Skywalker, said earlier as well. You know what I'm saying? Where this media coverage is overwhelmingly positive. I've never seen nothing like it in 10 years. For Snyderverse, for Zack Snyder, for the fan base, I've not seen nothing like this and since 2013, man. Like, I really haven't. And we need to keep at it.
Thank you, yo. This was the goal, yo. This was the goal. Right? Was that if we're gonna go out, we should go out on our own terms. Right?
Exactly.
T-Flame, have you ever felt like you were being toxic, or that you're just a toxic person, like a toxic fan? Yes.
Yes.
Well, I had it.
Yes.
I did. Right.
I have back in the day, but now I don't. I really don't.
Look,
I really
let me
like
ask you
this.
this. Let me ask you this though, right? Okay, because this is a better question. Do you feel like you were being toxic for no reason?
Absolutely not. I feel like it was definitely for a reason. You know, but
Right,
the thing
absolutely,
is
right?
that we're all
Right.
passionate. Yeah.
Yeah, yo, look, that is my point, right? Is that even with some of the behavior that was or that has been exhibited up to this point, right? Let's just say that
Yeah.
you could let's just chalk it up to to WB, right? Let's
Yes.
just all chalk it up, right? And say,
But that
okay,
was
they
that was
the
that
one.
was
Wait,
that was
right? But here we have an opportunity right now, right, to really show that it wasn't just because. I mean, no, we weren't being toxic just because, right?
right.
That we
Exactly.
that we are actually able to be positive, and that we're
Yes.
able to just
Yes.
show, like, hey, we can show passion for something, right, without having to be upset if you just shift the conversation a little bit, right? Which
Exactly.
if you shift the conversation from WBD over to Netflix, then it automatically becomes more positive
Right.
because you
Exactly.
have no reason to engage with them like you were with WBD, right?
Yeah.
Because look, we even started with the new regime. They didn't change their narratives,
Nope.
right?
Mine was more and like I like to play you know a little bit of devil's advocate for myself, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, absolutely.
I can see why, you know, earlier on, not as of recent, but why I would maybe have came off like that to some people, but you know, I didn't never do you know, say no extraordinarily bad shit. It was just, you know, I was very reactionary, you know, I was passionate. Like, you know, how could you do this? Like, what the fuck are you doing, WB? That was more of like my reactions. And I guess to, you know, most people with half a brain understand that, you know, it's just the situation was, you know, was not good. And the decisions that they made were bullshit. The handling of these IPs are still dog shit. And I stand by that. But, you know, that being that, I'm ready to stop talking about it and let them do them and let what they do speak for itself without my
Yeah,
input because I'm
absolutely.
over it. I'm over being a part of that conversation because it benefits me zero. And on top of that, me knowing now there's no reason for me to keep commenting on it and putting my 2 cents on it, I will just take myself and my business elsewhere while still trying to fight the good fight in a positive manner. And that's something I can really get behind.
For sure. For sure. Look, I do have to go now though. I want to say thank you for having me on your platform to talk about this because like I really do kind of try to try to take every opportunity that I can to talk to you guys about this because it really means a whole lot to me and I see that I need to make sure that our messaging is very, very clear because if not, then I think that, you know, people will kind of try to shift this conversation somewhere that it doesn't need to go. And with this being our last opportunity, or what I feel like is our last opportunity, I don't want to leave this up to chance. So I'm going to be very hands on with this entire process.
Yeah, I hear you, and thanks for coming on. I was just getting ready to tell you, you know, we're at that over that hour mark, and it's getting late, so you know, I think we covered about everything we wanted to cover, man. And you know, I can't wait to see how this turns out, and you know, I'm down for the ride. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll link back up again soon whenever it works for you, brother.
Hey, for sure. I am gonna be going live in a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. And we're gonna be talking just about this type of stuff right now. The drawing the clear line between this movement and the other ones. And I have a great special guest tonight. It's a big guest, and I'm really excited to have this conversation because I feel like this is the perfect person to have this conversation with. I literally could not think of anybody better to have this conversation with.
Oh, you got me interested now.
Yeah. Oh no. This is gonna be great. So make sure that all you guys are tuned in. Sub to my channel if you have not already. It is spelled SKII Walker the Jedi, and the with an A. You know what I'm saying? I'm always on YouTube talking this stuff, and this hashtag sales ZSJL to Netflix topic. You guys will see me a lot on different platforms, kind of talking about this thing.
Yep, absolutely. And just like Sky said, everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Skywalker already, please get your ass over there and do so. Skywalker's going live in a bit, and I will be in the chat watching along to see what's going on. And they think that's about it. Think we covered it, Skywalker.
For sure. Much love, homie. I appreciate you having me on again, right? And we gonna link up. You know what I'm saying? We'll link up soon, bro. On like something. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds good. All right, brother.
Yep.
I'll see you on your live stream soon.
Coolio.
Later.